Okay, I'm probably going to get some backlash for this, particularly from other real estate agents, but Morrison Ranch, it's Gilbert's favorite neighborhood. Everyone knows that, but I think it might be a little overrated. Don't get me wrong, it's a gorgeous neighborhood. I've had several clients buy homes here and absolutely love living here. But like I say, not every neighborhood is perfect. So let's get into it. Let's talk about pros, cons, schools, homes, all of it. I'm Courtney Strzelczyk. I'm a local real estate agent here in Gilbert, and I actually live here as well. And my goal with this channel is to give it to you straight and hopefully share a lot of things that ChatGPT is not going to be able to tell you. But let's get into it and start off by talking about location. So this is in the very far east part of Gilbert. The great thing is you have very easy access to Highway 202, and then the Highway 60 North is only like 2 miles away. So this neighborhood is about 15 minutes from downtown Gilbert, which isn't too bad. And you're also very close to Agritopia, the epicenter, which is a great spot for restaurants. And then you're also not very far from Santan Village, which is our main shopping center. That's really like 5 minutes away. You can hop on the 202 and you're there in no time. Directly east of the neighborhood, you're getting into Mesa. In that part of Mesa, there are a lot more like commercial parks. I haven't heard of anyone complaining about the commercial parks here. You can't see them from the neighborhood or anything like that, but it's just good to know so you're oriented to where you are in the East Valley here. Something a lot of people don't know about Morrison Ranch is, okay, so Morrison Ranch is a master plan community, so there's a lot of subdivisions within the community, and it has its own little separate wing, Desert Place at Morrison Ranch, and that's actually across the border in Mesa. Now you are in the city limits of Mesa, but you're still in the Gilbert School District. Let's talk about the overall vibe or the aesthetic of the neighborhood, because that's definitely the selling point of Morrison Ranch. Now, when I said a few moments ago that Morrison Ranch, in my opinion, was overrated, I do have to be honest. The first time I drove through the neighborhood, I was like, oh my God, this place is absolutely gorgeous. Basically, if you want a neighborhood that doesn't look like Arizona or doesn't feel like you're living in the desert, this is definitely the neighborhood for you. There are tree-lined streets, there's grass everywhere, white picket fences. And now that I'm thinking about it, a lot of my clients who bought homes here were from very vegetative states, which makes sense. Now, the staple part of the neighborhood, or the landmark, if you will, are the 4 silos by one of their lakes. There's also a town center. I mean, it's basically a really nice strip mall. It's nothing super special, but it is very well kept. There's a grocery store there, and it's on brand for the neighborhood. There's white fences, flowers, trees, and one of my all-time favorite coffee shops, 4 Silos, is here. It's also a draft house. You can get some beers there, but anytime I'm in this neighborhood, I definitely make a stop at 4 Silos. So one of the biggest pros of this neighborhood, aside from it just being very beautiful, it's very family centric. And what do I mean by that? So first off, they have a lot of amenities like playgrounds, basketball courts, sports fields. And then the HOA actually puts on a lot of events that are family oriented. I know about a month ago, they actually had a school drive, but I do have to note, it's not just families that live here. I've helped, young couples move in here, retired people. So it is a mixed bag of people that live in this community. And the HOA actually has other events they host as well that are not as family centric. They had a Taco Tuesday, they had some taco trucks come, and then I know they had a beignet day, which was like coffee and beignets in the morning. Now let's get into the homes. As I mentioned, it's a master plan community, so there's a handful of subdivisions within the overall neighborhood. So one of the original subdivisions was Higley Groves. A lot of these homes were constructed in the early 2000s, and it's definitely going to be one of the more affordable areas of Morrison Ranch. A lot of the homes for sale right now are going to be starting in the 500s, and then most of them go up to the 700s. May see a couple in the 800s, but these are going to be renovated homes, most likely. Directly west, you have Higley Groves West, and these homes were also built around the same time, the early 2000s. However, the homes are much bigger. The lots are going to be larger as well, and with that, it's a little bit more expensive. A lot of the homes in the past year, I think there was a couple that sold in the 900s, but most of them were in that $1 million+ range. The next subdivision, Warner Groves, these homes are going to be a little bit newer. A lot of them were constructed 2016 to 18. Ashton Woods and then Maracay or Tri-Point were the main builders that were in this section, and they definitely constructed a lot of homes that have somewhat of a farmhouse feel. You'll see a front porch. A lot of them have front porches. Some of them will have have swings. As far as pricing goes, there's a couple in the 600s, but for the most part, you're looking between the 7 to 900 range. And then there's also a handful of beautiful luxury listings in this section as well. And then Lakeview Trails is the newest section. I mean, they did start constructing some homes in the teens, but they just completed this area maybe like 1 or 2 years ago, not very long at all. Price range varies quite a bit in this area. You'll see a couple starting in the 500s. I will say though, you're looking at a very tiny lot for this part of the neighborhood if you're closer to that 500 range. And then it goes all the way up to 2 million. A couple have sold slightly over 2 million, but for the most part, you're looking anywhere between 5 to 2. So if you're looking for newer or more modern, Lakeview Trails is definitely the part of Morrison Ranch you want to be in. And then there's a couple other subdivisions, including Highland Groves, Elliott Groves, and then Desert Place. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, the neighborhood, in my opinion, is a little bit overrated, and it's really for these two reasons. So the neighborhood is beautiful, it's stunning, and I would say is pretty unique for Gilbert. But the homes themselves, I would not say are very unique. They are not custom homes. Now, a lot of the main builders that were in here, you know, you had Taylor Morrison, Ashton Woods, you had Tri-Point or Maracay. I mean, these are definitely builders that are known to have nicer finishes. Definitely not a D.R. Horton, if you will. But even in the luxury section, some of the homes that are closer to that 2 million price point, you're gonna see a lot of the same floor plans. You're gonna see a lot of similar finishes as your neighbors. Now, if you are looking for something more unique, original, or a custom home, Circle G is kind of nestled in the middle of Morrison Ranch. That could be a really good option. Now, the other complaint I've heard about Morrison Ranch, it feels very suburbia. Well, I got news for you. Gilbert is a suburban city. Let's call a spade, but if you aren't looking for a suburban area, honestly, I probably would go more central in Phoenix metro area, maybe closer to Tempe, because Gilbert overall is going to feel pretty suburban. But I will say every person I know that has bought a home and has lived in Morrison Ranch has truly loved this neighborhood. I haven't heard any complaints from residents. The thing is, as soon as you drive around, you'll know right away if it's the right neighborhood for you or not. It's not, I wouldn't say it's a neighborhood that has like any surprises. However, if you're curious about other neighborhoods in Gilbert, I do have this playlist right here where I do reviews of a lot of different places. Thank you so much for your time and have a fantastic day.